So we started off by interviewing teachers on the ground, interviewing curriculum experts, district leaders, just to find out a little bit more about the NGSS. And the more we found out, the more we realised that there was an actual need. Teachers were looking for more support in terms of navigating the NGSS, in terms of kind of saving time. It's a complex set of standards, and actually it takes time to build a very cohesive and convincing storyline around scientific concepts. And we thought that's where Kognity could also support teachers. Well, we started off first by just doing a lot of interviews. So the early interviews, including speaking to teachers and also actually attending lessons via Zoom, which was really interesting, showed us at first that actually the NGSS is challenging. It is difficult to actually fit teaching a story around concepts into the time you're given to teach. So that was the first thing that we found out, and we had suspected there were certain challenges for teachers, and our interviews helped to confirm these. And then after we did the interviews, we decided to iteratively build on our ideas, and that's kind of the whole part of the process, to create this iterative process so we can test our ideas in increments. The next stage was to develop a pilot. The pilot was a small chunk of authentic material which was written by experts. We recruited an expert team of NGSS teachers and curriculum designers to help advise us and to shape these ideas into something real. We chose a learning design that followed the 5E framework, and this is something we are continuing to do. So the 5Es stand for engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. So we knew that by following this framework and by choosing a phenomenon for the pilot, this was salamanders, we knew that we were on the right track. Technology can really help with presenting content for the NGSS because it allows us to be as comprehensive as possible. We know some of the key challenges in terms of saving time, in terms of actually supporting the teaching of something that is actually quite complicated. All of this can be made more efficient through technology. So for example, by putting together investigations and questions that are aligned to the content in Kognity and are aligned to the NGSS, we can test out our ideas, we can offer these questions, but we can also add to them in the future. We can amend them if they're not as effective as we want them to be. We can also cross-link things very easily, so we can actually show connections between different items in the content. Particularly in sort of recent times, of course, having the option to do virtual labs, to have simulations, that's really important. Not everybody will be in a classroom, or to do with safety regulations, conducting certain experiments might just be challenging in certain contexts. So we really want to offer a diverse range of media and content. Technology allows us to do that, to just bring a balance and a richness to the learning. The NGSS is unique. It is very innovative. It is a new way of seeing education. It's quite a philosophical set of standards. I'd say it's quite aspirational. So it's really helping students to not just do science, but to think like scientists. We worked with a test group of around 60 teachers from different states, from all over, and from different scientific backgrounds. They all reviewed our content, which was a piece of biology content for high school. And so a couple of them also used the content in the classroom with their students. So collating all this feedback, and we had really thousands of items of feedback, showed us several themes, really. The insights included, for us positively, we were on the right track. And that was the main thing we wanted to test. The whole sort of rationale with doing a pilot was to test out the ideas and the process to see whether Kognity actually could deliver in this area. And it was very positive. We got excellent feedback about the general approach to the learning. So this was, we tested out the structure, and some of the more constructive feedback, which has been really helpful in shaping the product from now on, is that the NGSS is hard to navigate, and anything we can do to support the navigation is important. Our pilot had relatively long sections, so students or teachers would have to scroll quite a lot to complete the content within a section. And that was fine in many ways. However, we realised we could do even better by chunking up the information for it to be more digestible for both teachers and students. So that was one of those insights which has actually made shaped a very concrete change in our resource creation process.